Eh bien, salut tout le monde, c'est Blood, on se retrouve pour The Technomancer. Et en fait, on ne s'était pas arrêté là, mais on s'était arrêté devant l'arène. Alors, je ne voulais pas... je ne l'ai pas record du coup, parce que je me suis dit que ça ferait trop au niveau du temps pour arriver là. Donc, je suis champion de l'arène, et pour tout vous dire, j'ai affronté donc 3 boss du jeu. Donc les 3 boss insectes qu'on a rencontrés depuis le début du jeu. Donc voilà, c'était assez tendu pour le dernier boss puisque c'était le boss gigantesque, vous savez. Sauf qu'il n'y a pas de place dans cette arène, donc c'était un peu l'anarchie. Mais c'est passé. Et je m'attendais à, je sais pas, une armure, une arme, quelque chose en récompense, mais non, rien du tout. Juste le titre, quoi. Donc je suis un peu déçu, mais sinon ça va. On va aller à Noctis, histoire de rendre les quêtes et de trouver... Bah je vous dirai après. Ah bah ça va pas. Ah bah c'est parfait. Et de trouver... et de trouver bah, pourquoi Scott était là-bas, quoi. Parce que c'est très étrange, hein. Ah, du coup on a des quêtes, ouais. Alors attendez, parce que déjà... Avant d'enchaîner sur ces quêtes-là, nous, on va aller sur les quêtes qu'on a déjà. Hein.
Hey, Brad.
Zachariah, how's the hunting?
Got your last specimen.
Tell me you did! The shield-toed skin. Wonderful. Oh, what you have done for science. You are invaluable. I am forever indebted. You've given me years of study, and when I finally publish, you, my friend, will find your name in the acknowledgements.
Alors, là-haut.
Zachariah, what can I do for you?
You told me you learned where Scott was from mutants. You mind if I talk to them? Like to find out exactly what they saw.
Have suspicions about your friend, Zachariah? Sorry. None of my business, really. You can find them in Mutant Valley. They only passed through here to pass on some information to me, including the little tidbit about your friend.
Thanks. I'm gonna go find him.
What's the problem? The old man's story rubbing you wrong?
A little, yeah.
He's fucking weird, I know, but... he any weirder than usual?
Zach, I can't stop thinking about everything we heard from that dirtbag. Keep hoping it's all just a terrible lie, but... if you wanted... there's something that doesn't make sense in this story. I can't come to terms with the idea that he told us the truth, but I'm also struggling to understand why he would have deported our little clique to martyrdom. We were nothing to him. I was told Gloria came to Noctis not long ago. I need to see her again, to confront her about this story, hear what she has to tell me. I could go alone, but it'd mean a lot to me if you came along.
I'm gonna come with you. I also want to find out what this is all about.
Thank you, Zach. That means a lot to me.
Ah bah écoute, on y va, hein, y a pas de souci.
Oh, things are gonna heat up. I can feel it. Gloria better have a good excuse, otherwise she's gonna get fucked up.
Stop it, Amelia. I can't even confirm if what was said was true. I need an explanation, not a fight.
You can't blame me. Every time I see you get pissed, let me tell you, I'm glad it ain't me. Your temper's on a hair trigger, you know?
Isn't it about time we change the subject? My trigger discipline isn't so good today.
Bon par contre, un truc qui m'inquiète parce que ça nous dit ouais elle est par là. Ah bah là.
Gloria, you are... Oh no.
Nisha, don't stay here. You shouldn't.
Zach, I'm not a child. Let me listen. I have to know. I have to... Nisha, I heard that you had left Ophir, that you come back here often now. I know that I won't be able to see you and tell you all this in person. I don't have the courage for it. So I hope that someone will give you this message, that you will listen to this and that you will forgive me. I did something awful, something that haunts me every day, every instant, something with which I cannot live today. You have always been strong, so much more brilliant, prettier. And me, I was in your shadow, and I felt that I was suffocating. So I went to see a man, a thief. I knew that he could plant false evidence and that he turned in people to the ASC. I said that you knew some things about their trafficking, that you were dangerous to them. And it worked. Too well, because they came to arrest our whole group. And during all those years spent with you in the camp, I knew that we were here because of me. When I saw how they were torturing you, when Nick died, I also wanted to die, but they refused. Today, I still carry the weight of my mistake and I can't bear it anymore. So farewell, Nisha. Farewell and forgive me. Your sister, Gloria.
I'm sorry, Nisha. Come on, let's go. I'll take care of the funeral. Don't worry.
I wanted to thank you for all your help, Zach. Not saying I needed it or, you know, but having you beside me and all. It was, it's just, you're a good guy, Zach. And it doesn't hurt that the good guy's got a face like yours. Maybe, you know, later, if you had time, we could meet up. Just the two of us.
Oui, j'accepte.
I'd be lying if I didn't think that was a great idea. Next break we have.
Good. Then I'll be seeing you in your room soon. Clothing's optional.
Dans ma chambre? Genre là, si je vis dans ma chambre. Une pause, il veut dire dormir? Attendez, on va voir.
Zach, want some company?
Oh oui!
If it's yours.
I think I'm falling in love.
Vas-y.
I may be too.
Un espion qui m'aimait. Ça, c'est du succès. Bon, bah, c'est parfait. Maintenant.
Zach, can we need to talk. Alone.
Sure. What's going on?
I want to keep investigating. Remember what we found in the archives? The secret military shit in Eos Cosma?
Yeah. So how do you want to do this?
We gotta find a way to get into the military archives in Ophir and steal some files.
We don't even know where these files are, Amelia. But maybe I know someone who could point us in the right direction. Eliza Major, my former captain, would have access to all of them.
Ask her to read them and tell us what the hell's in there then. After that, we just gotta get back to the rover and make trails for Eos Chasma.
That road must have been taken dozens of times, Amelia. If your father was there, we'd have found him by now.
That's not true, Zach. Nobody takes that road anymore. Not with the shadow paths. There's no reason to take the rovers that way since the area's already been mapped out. All he wanted was to find that kid. We should take that road, Zach. Please.
Sure. If that's what you want to try. You know it's been a long time, though, Amelia. The odds of us ever finding him alive...
They don't exist, Zach. He's dead. I know that. Honestly, I just want to know why.
Ok. Va falloir trouver un rover. Ah oui, on est parti pour faire... pour faire toutes les missions de nos compagnons, hein, qui sont bien sûr importantes, je trouve. Par contre, il y a un truc que je veux voir, c'est au niveau de Misha, du coup, au niveau de relation. Ah oui. Ah, ça. Ah, du coup, je sais pas... Ouais, c'est pas grave. Caractéristiques. Ok, c'est comme ça que ça marche, d'accord. Ok, donc... C'est où? Ah bah oui, je suis con, faut revenir tout là-bas. Oh, ça va être chiant. Parce qu'il va falloir convaincre... Capitaine Elisa de faire des recherches, donc faut retourner là-bas. Ah, c'est très chiant, hein, au pire. Réputation plus 3, pourquoi? Parce qu'on a pris un rover. Oh, excellent. Bon, du coup, on n'a pas vu grand-chose, hein. Je suis assez déçu. Mais bon, que voulez-vous? C'est la vie. Ben voilà, petit level up. Et niveau 30 quand même les loulous. C'est bon ça. Alors du coup, point de compétence. Eh ben on va le mettre ici. Voilà. Et puis là, il va falloir prendre le spell. Ah, il va falloir mettre un point ici aussi. Oui, parce que je veux toute la branche en fait. Hein. Du coup, pour aller voir le capitaine, le chemin, c'est lequel? Parce que j'ai pris par là bêtement, mais en fait, c'est pas du tout par là. Ah, c'est par là. Et pour aller par là... Ah, je me suis complètement planté de lieu. Je sais plus comment on y va ici. Alors, soit faut passer par l'échange obligatoirement, soit... Non, il y a forcément un moyen. Regardez. Là, on est là. Donc, si on prend par là, logiquement... C'est ça, vu qu'on a fait descendre l'échelle. Oh putain, j'ai eu peur. Ouais, c'est ça. Ah, c'est parfait ça. En plus, ça, il va y avoir plein de monde à bouger, mais... Parce que maintenant ils sont de plus en plus gros, forcément. En fait, vous avez vraiment aucun répit quand on vous fout à terre, c'est abusé.
Captain, good to see you. I really need some information about Scott Seeker's son. Like, what happened to him after he got arrested?
You know how monitored we are, Zachariah? What do you want? I go poking around, we could find ourselves fired. Or worse, for a mutant?
Whatever we find isn't gonna bother anyone today, but it could bring some peace to the people who never stopped loving or wondering what happened to the boy. The more I learn about it, the more complicated it gets. I'm just trying to bring some peace, Captain. Just look into some dusty files. No one's gonna care.
All right. Hope you're right, Zachariah. We'll dig into the archives, but it'll take some time. Tomorrow would be the earliest.
Tomorrow it is. Thank you. I'll come back then.
Fait chier. Vous voyez, ça c'est relou par contre. Donc regardez, je les ai habillés un peu différemment, histoire de changer.
My dear angel, what can I do for you?
Oh, plein de choses, si tu savais. Allez, suis-moi, on y va. Alors ça, je trouve ça un peu lamentable d'avoir mis un timer là-dessus, bien que ça soit RP, d'accord. Mais sauf que le problème, c'est qu'on n'a rien pour se reposer à côté. Et donc c'est totalement débile, voilà. Ah, ça c'est dit.
Captain, good to see you. So what did you learn?
Strange things. Scott Seeker was, apparently, much more respected back in the day. He even managed to convince the army at one point that he could heal and trigger mutation. The idea of triggering mutations apparently really got some interest, and the army launched a new division and put him in charge. Even brought him a few mutants to run tests on, one of which was his son. Obviously never went anywhere. Nobody got healed. The program was shut down and the mutants, including his son, were terminated. So sad. Almost makes you want to look at the old man differently.
Yeah, sure does. Thank you, Captain.
What a horrifying story. To think that a father's desperation to change his son ended with getting the boy killed.
It was to change him back. He didn't start off like that. You've seen how bad those bastards get treated in abundance. No wonder he was so desperate. It was a chance at a better life.
I understand that. Truly, I do. However, I believe that instead of perilously trying to change his son's life, he should have protected his future. Help him live with his condition.
Ouf. Bah, ça devient de plus en plus chaud, hein. Dis donc. N'importe quoi. Faut aller trouver le rover dans le désert. Donc c'est parti.
What to find there, Amelia?
I don't know, debris? Tracks? Just something to help me understand how a top reacher like my dad could get lost on Eos Chasma, one of the easiest fucking roads on the planet.
My guess? He got into an accident. Something he couldn't avoid. It's happened to us, after all.
Maybe. I just want to find out. That's all I'm asking.
I fear I may be getting sick.
Sorry, Scott. I understand that looking for the remains of your best friend is probably painful, but Amelia deserves answers.
Sometimes the past just gives us answers we were afraid to know. I just hope that won't be the case this time.
Even if we find the rover wreck, it'd be easy pickings for a passing scavenger or thief. So there might not be much left.
The fuck you say that for?
Sorry, I just don't want you to get your hopes up.
Whoa, Amelia, ease up. I know you want answers, but it's probably best not to crash while looking for a crash site.
You kidding me? Wonder what you'd say if we actually went fast.
I guess everyone's version of moderate is different. Damn, the rover's still here. I would have bet it would have been scrapped by now.
Well, some parts are goners, but most of it's still here.
Yeah. Look, Amelia, I'm sorry, but this time I don't have any.
Yeah, I knew it was dead. I just wanted to know how and why, you know? And I still plan to, with what's here.
Ah, là. Mais non! Ok, c'était pas ça.
Looks like we found a tablet. And it still works.
Scott, I don't know if you'll ever get this message. It doesn't really matter now, I guess. Of my own peace, I just need to... So many things I wish I could tell you. My last thoughts and breaths are filled with regrets. I can't even blame you for sabotaging my rover. I was supposed to be your friend. I was supposed to be there for you. I was supposed to try to empathize with all the hurt and fear you were going through. But all I can bring myself to care about is making you stop obsessing about your son. Make you go back to being your old self for my own benefit. To have my old friend back. It was selfish. I was selfish. Even from the outset. The only reason I ever helped was just to help bring an end to the obsessing. And in the end, my own obsession with that goal led me to take away your son so you would stop. I wanted to take him so far away that you'd have no recourse but to give up hope. But you figured me out. You stopped me, and now I'm paying for it. I'm so thirsty. The rover is becoming unbearably hot. Unbearably hot. Forgive me, my friend, as I forgive you. Tell my daughter I'm sorry for not being courageous enough to keep her by my side. I should have fought for her. Stopped her from being taken away from me. Between the two of us, you were always the better father. Good to your boy. And here I am. Sid, never mind. Farewell, Scott. Take good care of Amelia for me, my friend.
I can't even... He was here the whole time? Not even that far from Ophir. If I ever find out who sabotaged his rover, who's responsible for him dying? You find something?
Allez, je lui donne.
Yeah, I found this. There's a message on it, Amelia. One you're not going to be happy to hear.
Whatever it is, it's better than not knowing the truth. Give it.
Scott, I don't know if you'll ever get this message. Regrets doesn't really matter now. I can't even blame you for sabotaging my rover. I was supposed to be there for you. I was supposed to try to empathize with all the hurt. The only reason I ever helped was just to help bring an end to the obsessing so far away that you'd tell my daughter I'm sorry, but to give up courageous enough to keep her by my side. I should have fought for her. The rover. Take good care of Amelia for me, my friend.
Where the hell, Scott? Where is he? I found my father's rover and a tablet he left. You're a fucking murderer. And to think I called you a friend all these years.
What are you... What tablet? What...
You're gonna pay for his death. I promise I'm gonna make you pay.
I know Scott took your dad from you, Amelia. I know what he did was fucked up, but I'm sorry, he still means something to me. Please, let him live. For me. It's not like every day of his life isn't filled with suffering. He pays every day.
I don't give a shit! I barely knew my dad because of him! You fucking pathetic old piece of shit! Get the fuck out! Just get out! Get out before I change my mind!
Et voilà. Donc ça c'est parfait. Putain, il s'en est passé des trucs quoi. Du coup. On va faire une petite sauvegarde. Et je vais lui parler parce qu'on sait jamais. J'ai pas envie de me planter quelque part. Voilà.
Hi Zach, how are you?
Hello, Amelia.
Ok, donc pour le moment, elle s'en fout. Ah oui, il faut que j'aille à Mutant Valley. De toute façon, j'ai pas trop le choix, hein. C'est parti.
Sorry, Amelia.
Leave me alone.
This is what I feared. It is better to let the dead rest.
So, you guys don't think it's kind of toasty?
Amelia, look at me. You have to move on. You cannot change the past. All we can do is make the best of the time we have.
Shut up!
Là, on a une autre quête, a priori.
Zachariah, you look...
Ok.
If you have a minute, can we talk?
What's this about?
Thanks to you and Scott, I got my abilities back. Doesn't make me a Technomancer though, does it? Doesn't make me one of you. And I know you all go through a lot of training together, which I never had. Everything I know was picked up from an old renegade Technomancer who showed me some of the basics. Had to trade it for a little serum. But I'm tired of being on the outside. I just want to belong. If you, I guess, think I'm worthy or whatever.
You're right, Andrew. Maybe it is time to initiate you.
How painful is it?
Guess you'll see. They obviously can't use the old site anymore, so you'll need some imagination. We can give it a go. Come on.
Ok, donc je vais enlever Amelia du coup. Voilà, le dôme perdu. Ok, c'est parti.
My master brought me to a dome like this when I became a Technomancer. It was full of relics, collected by generations of Technomancers from Abundance. There were old consoles there that would allow me to listen to the old recordings, discussions, musings of the settlers, and a little view of their life. The dome doesn't exist anymore. There's not much left of what we used to be. But I want that knowledge to last, so I want to tell you what I learned from my master Sean. Before a mantis destroyed all the knowledge that was there.
All right. What was your master like?
He was quiet and kept to himself, but over time we still managed to grow close. He hated how Technomancers were treated in Abundance, dreamed of freedom. He seemed calm, cool and collected, but on the inside, he was all rebel. He couldn't stand taking orders. which never goes down well.
Miss him?
No matter how many times you're told, or how well you know that one day you're going to be separated from your parents or masters, it never makes it easier when it finally happens. And it's only harder when you have no one else to really guide you. Technomancers are my family, but Sean was like my father.
It was probably hard for him too. I got a feeling I would have liked him if I'd ever had the chance to know him.
There was a pitch-black circular room with a console in the middle. When I started it up, flickering bluish images appeared. A doctor examining a man. The man had apparently undergone a mutation that allowed him to generate a massive electrical charge. He was the first Technomancer, Andrew.
So you're saying you and I are...
afflicted with a specific mutation that the settlers were studying. It's why they created our gear. You, who has witnessed the secret with your own eyes, who, in your heart, knows the knowledge that he bears is true, and has understood that this knowledge could cast our kind into an endless pit of despair. As you drink the sap of the world, the water that feeds our lives, abandon who you thought you were, and now become our brother, Andrew Mancer. Together, we've shared the water and secret. Now, swear to forever protect the knowledge of the earth and dedicate your life to finding it again, to defend and protect our secret, even if you must sacrifice your life to do so.
I swear I will.
Then, welcome, brother.
Et ben voilà. Ah, il est content sûrement. Petite sauvegarde bien sûr.
Hey.
Hey, back.
I'm really happy you're here. With us. With me.
I'm happy too. Without you, I'd just be a poor broken man, lonely and jaded, wasting his life.
I have a hard time picturing you alone. Figure the world would still be pining over you. Never spend a night alone unless you wanted to.
Maybe not. But I never had one of those nights turn into much more than that.
What about Nisha? Seemed like something was going on there, no?
She's an amazing woman, gorgeous. I could see why other guys would fall all over themselves for her. But you know how it is. Technomancy isolates us. There's things she could never understand. Things I could never share with her.
Vous voyez les loulous, je l'ai testé. Ah là là, c'est fait avoir.
Hey, get back.
Mais c'est bien comporté, c'est bien. Pas de touche à Manisha. Donc on va switcher au niveau de l'équipe. Andrew, tu t'en vas. Amelia, tu viens. Et Nisha aussi. Voilà.
Hi, Zach. How are you?
Hello, Amelia.
Ok, y a rien d'autre à dire. Donc...
Praise to the shadow. You are here. I was getting worried about you.
What's going on, scum?
Kane is moving to take power. He came with dozens of followers, killed many who stood in his way, threatened to do the same to countless more. As for you and I, Phobos, I promise that he has already planned our deaths.
Zachariah, it is not my life I worry for. He will kill any and all who stand against him. He will wipe out human cities, destroying those with little more than sticks and rocks to defend themselves. Blood will drench this planet.
And I'm sure all our names are probably topping the list. And we better make a move before it's too late.
Ah bah voilà. Bon, Amelia, du coup, tu t'en vas. Voilà. On peut passer maintenant ou on n'a pas le droit? Ah, je pense qu'on peut passer. Alors, c'est quoi mes infos? Ah, mes infos sont là-bas. Et puis, allons-y, hein. Regarde un peu la ville. Ah, c'est sympa quand même ici. Alors, on va commencer par se rendre vers le truc là-bas, là. Et oui, les infos d'abord. Attendez, par contre, on peut pas genre lui... Hein, voilà.
Hello, Phobos.
Hello, Zachariah.
Non, ok, y a rien d'autre. Par contre, du coup, on va se stuffer. Enfin, on va le stuffer, lui. Bah, c'est parfait, déjà. Voilà. Bon, faut l'équiper comme un gros bourrin. Donc, on va lui mettre... masque de soudeur. Voilà, ça lui va bien. Petit masque de soudeur. Hein. 16%. Ah, y a pas mieux, hein. Y a pas mieux. Vous avez vu, c'est un truc de fou. Ah, là, c'est mieux. Bah, écoutez, c'est du 5%, donc on va lui mettre ça. Et au niveau des chaussures... Ah ben, on va lui laisser ça. Voilà. Allez, gros bourrin. Avec ton masque de soudeur. On y va.
Hey.
Hello. How are you?
Someone told me about you, so I wanted to come say thanks. Your instructions helped me save my friend.
I'm just happy you got there in time. We would have helped ourselves, but feared letting humans know free mutants roam around.
Don't blame you. You see what led to all of that? By the time I got there, they tortured my friend, and the Technomancer in charge was leaving.
Found himself surrounded by the Technomancer and his soldiers, who wanted to know where they could find a man named Zachariah. You, I suppose.
What did he tell him?
Not the answer you are scared he gave. He said nothing of your location. Instead, he told this other Technomancer that he knew who he was, but it did not seem to matter. The question was asked again. This time your friend screamed back that he knew who he was, and that they must listen to him. That is when they began to beat him, and he began to scream for mercy. Mercy that would not come, even as he screamed that he could do something for them. The violence only grew. That is when we ran to warn Dandolo. What he was offering to do for them, I do not know. He never said. But it did not matter anyway. All they wanted to know was where you were. Nothing else to them mattered. The torture lasted for hours. Your friend may be not all there, but his loyalty cannot be doubted.
Thanks. And thank you for going to Dandolo.
Of course.
Allez dans la chambre pour parler à Scott en privé. Ok, allons-y.
Scott, thanks for coming. Please have a seat. I'm just trying to understand something.
Ah, a scientific query. Let us engage.
No, not quite. I just wanted to understand what you were doing with Alan under that shadow path. A couple mutants saw you and said you told Alan that you knew what he was, and that you could do... Of course, the jackass didn't give a damn. All he wanted to know was where we were. But what the hell were you trying to do, Scott?
Do? I wasn't doing. I was doing something, but not what... There are opportunities in life. He might have become an ally, a great technomancer. Even if you're not friends, he could... I was... a mistake.
Scott, how long have we known each other? How much do I owe you? You're like a father to me. You know that. And you could tell me anything.
Yes! And you like a more than a son. Without all the messiness of diapers and all of... I'm just a stupid, silly old man, Zachariah. It is a rather laborious story, some of which you know, some of which it was 17 years ago. With our corporation's unparalleled obsession with the perfect man, I found myself ensconced in gene research. My son, my flesh and blood son. I loved that child, cherished him like nothing else, but my work stole time from him, more and more, and when he was diagnosed with symptoms of the mutation, I disintegrated. As the best geneticist in abundance, I ensconced myself in research of its genome, discovering its mutation, and I heard whispers of tests the settlers had made, because they, too, had been coping with the chaotic mutative effects of the radiation. So, my friend, Mark, delivered me to a distant city, remote, nearly unlivable. I stayed there, poring through their documents until one day, I uncovered their work on a therapy which had only a singular side effect.
It modified the human body's electrical production.
Precisely. Technomancers are the result of a controlled genetic manipulation. Mutations instigated to protect us from more erratic mutations created by the radiation. A discovery I found myself racing to try out on my son. But first, I needed test subjects. So I volunteered to heal children in the slums. Found 2 young boys there to test its efficacy. And lo and behold, it worked.
Andrew and me.
Yes. Your abilities were gained thanks to my experiments, but that was not all that was gained. I had proof that I could replicate the therapy, and that, you know, now, could resist other forms of mutations. From there, well, I secured a research budget from the military, who in turn assured me they would return my son. But for him, it was too late. The experiment failed to help him, and I found myself with little choice but to end his suffering, rather than see him in a life of slavery, the life of a monster. And to the military, because I could not yet reveal what I knew, as I knew not yet what you were to become. Saw only my failure. I lost everything. Found myself socially exiled. And when Andrew's death came, you, Zachariah, became my only chance for success. My only chance to regain my past glory. So, I kept close to you for all these years. Until you finally became a Technomancer. My success. A chance for me to win back my approval. glory within abundance. I would be the man who created Technomancers. We needed to escape. By seeing Alan, I had hoped to fix that. That they might take you back, and in turn, I might... Madness. Madness had overtaken me. Greed. Instead of being proud of my success in you, I only wanted more and more, and... Forgive me.
Leave me alone. Please.
Et ben voilà. Bon, excusez-moi, je dois passer maintenant. Alors...
The human everyone talks about.
Hi. You wanted to talk?
I did, yes, I did. I've heard many people say, even though you are human, you're a good person. Many say that without you, they would still be in the pen. I thought maybe you too could help me.
Depends. What do you need help with?
Yes, well, we need weapons. To have any hope of helping our brothers held captive, we must be armed. I was given orders to arm a squad, but I have nothing to arm them with. And in Noctis, such things are far too expensive for us. But since I was told you travel, if on one of your trips you could find and bring us back a box or two.
I can try. Sure I could get my hands on some in Ophir somewhere.
Thank you. Yes, I'm sure it would be a great help for us.
Ok. Ah, je dois voler des pistolets. Soldat d'abondance, ouais, bah, c'est mérité. On va écouter, nous on va continuer, on va aller se faire... Bah non, on va s'arrêter là. Bah, écoutez, je fais le truc à droite là, et on s'arrêtera là. Bon et bien voilà les loulous, donc moi je vous dis à plus tard pour la suite. Bye bye.